KFG Gang, it's your boy Big Boy John 25 minutes. Tonight I'm gonna do my WrestleMania 36 review and highlights part 2. So you guys are new, hit that like button, hit that red button, let's get started. Now WrestleMania was a C show. It was just decent. It was a decent show. But there were some good matches tonight on this match card I really loved. So WrestleMania 36 kickoff pre-show for night 2 opens up with the WWE TV studios with Corey Graves and Peter Rosenberg. They talk about how good the Boneyard match on night 1 was. They hyped tonight's match. We get a discussion and preview for the Firefly Funhouse match and tonight's Fatal 5-Way for the SmackDown Women's title. We get a video package on tonight's WWE NXT Women's title next. We take another break and come back to Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, backstage. They hyped up for tonight. Angelo Dawkins flirts with Charlie Caruso, who isn't there. He tells her Angel Garza isn't the only Lord Orado on Raw. Montez Ford says WrestleMania is up and they want the smoke. Corey Graves and Rosenberg talked about tonight's title defense. They look back at night 1 again, and then send us to the WWE Performance Center. Natalia versus Liv Morgan. You already know this match was decent. Tom Phillips welcomes us to night 2 of WrestleMania 36 from the WWE Performance Center. He joins by Byron Saxton as Natalia makes her way out. Liv Morgan is out next as Mike Rome does the introductions. They meet in the middle of the ring for a handshake, but Natalia yanks Liv to the mat in a headlock. Liv tries for a pin attempt. They break and Natalia taunts Liv some. They lock up and trade holds again. Natalia with a 2 count. They break again and they have some more words and again. Natalia takes Liv back down, more back and forth. Natalia and surfboard submission. Liv screams out as the referee checks on her. Morgan comes back with a 2 count and a shot to the face. Morgan counters Natalia again and drops her over her knee for a 2 count. Morgan dropkicks Natalia in the back against the ropes. Liv charges and they tangle. Natalia counters and slams Liv's face first for another 2 count. Natalia argues with the referee about the count. Natalia goes for the sharpshooter, but Liv rolls her into a 2 count. Liv with an insecurity. Natalia catches Liv off the ropes, but Liv counters and they trade roll-ups on the mat. Liv gets the roll-up that counts for the win. The winner of the match, Liv Morgan. After the match, Liv stands tall as her arm raised as her music hits. Corey Graves and Rosenberg show us what happened to Mandy Rose, Otis, Dolph Ziggler, and Sonya Deville on SmackDown. Ziggler and Sonya Deville are backstage now. Ziggler left Mandy a voicemail begging her to please call him back. They're wondering what to do because Mandy isn't having any contact with them. Kyla Braxton approaches from comments, but they're not interested. Ziggler and Deville walk off. Corey Graves and Rosenberg lead us to a video package for Edge versus Randy Orton. We joined by the WWE backstage crew via Skype. Renee Young, WWE Hall of Famer Booker T, and Christian, who pick Edge to win the match. We take another break and go back to the panel for a discussion on Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. We also get a video package for tonight's WWE title match, and that is it for night 2 kickoff. WrestleMania 36 night 2 kicks off with Chief Brand Officer Stephanie McMahon welcomes us back. She gives a message similar to the one from night 1, but not shorter. She sends us to the pirate themed video package. We're live on tape from the Empty Arena Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, as host Rob Gonowski welcomes us. He hypes the show and sends us to the ring. The WWE NXT Women's title match, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. We go right to the ring and out comes Charlotte Flair for the opener. Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton are on commentator. We see a video package showing what leads to this match. NXT Women's Champion Rhea Ripley is out next. We get the former ring introduction from Mike Rome. The bell rings and they go at it. Flair takes Ripley down takes Ripley down first and mocks her. They lock up again and Trey holds. Flair drops Ripley by her leg and goes for the figure four. Ripley kicks her away and asks if she's kidding. Flair ends up taking Ripley to the corner. Ripley comes right out for the corner and gets in Flair's face. Flair shoves her and unloads with big chops. Flair goes upside down to the corner, but Ripley nails a big boot. Ripley with the riptide in the middle of the ring, but Flair kick out at 2. Flair rolls to the floor for a breather. Ripley declares this is her ring. Flair resets the count and Ripley goes out after her. Ripley ends up dropping Flair for the apron and working her over on the floor. Flair fights back. They come back in. Ripley drop kicks her. Ripley beats Flair around and talks trash. Ripley with more offensive in a two count in the middle of the ring. Ripley kicks Flair several times while she's on her knees. Ripley with a body scissor and hair grappling. Flair resists and tries to fight free. Flair used the ropes on Ripley and stomps away, focusing on her knee. Flair yells at Ripley and taunts her. Ripley kicks, but Flair catches it and drives the knee into the mat some more. Ripley counters and swings at Flair's face. Ripley screams about her knee hurting. Flair continues to focus on the leg. Ripley kicks free, but Flair slams the leg to the mat again. Flair slaps Ripley again and slams her knee against the ring post as the referee warns her. Flair wraps the leg around the ring post, and once again Ripley blocks it this time. They go back in and Flair takes the knee out from behind. Referee says he can't stop the match, but Ripley wants to continue. Flair continues to focus on the knee and yelling at Ripley as the referee warns her. Ripley counters a move and roll up Flair for a 1 count. Flair goes right back to working on Ripley while smiling. Ripley slams Flair face first to the mat. Ripley is still clutching her knee. Flair says she never stops or gives up. Ripley fights back to her feet. Flair keeps hitting her with strikes. Ripley does the same, but her leg does out to one knee. Flair with a huge chop. Ripley ducks a chop and delivers knee strikes to the face. They trade counters and Ripley connects with 2 big kicks. Ripley drop kicks Flair and her knee goes out again. Ripley with short arm clothesline now. More back and forth now. Flair goes to the top, but Ripley rocks her. Ripley gets Flair on her shoulders now, then drops her face first into the mat for a close 2 count. Flair rocks Ripley with a big right hand in the corner after more offense between the two. Flair misses a stomp on the leg and Ripley nails another elbow. Ripley goes to the top and misses a drop kick for a close 2 count. Ripley shows some frustrations now. Ripley runs into another boot. Flair continues working on the leg. Ripley tells the referee to shut up as he checks on her again. Flair keeps going for the leg, but Ripley takes her down and stomps away. Ripley finally gets the standing cloverleaf submission applied. Flair gets free, but turns it back and dropping Ripley. Charlotte Flair goes for the figure 4, but Ripley kicks her several times. They trade pin attempts, and Flair applies the Boston Crab. It's broken as they trade more holds and pin attempts. Flair stomps away until Ripley jumps up and nails a big boot for a 2 count. They are both down on the mat, showing frustration. Ripley unloads in the corner. They trade more big strikes in the corner. Ripley takes Flair to the top and rocks her. Ripley climbs up and pounds on Flair. Ripley tries for the superplex, but Flair resists. Flair slams Ripley to the mat from high up. Flair goes for the big moonsault, but Ripley gets her boots up for a shot to the face. Flair gets up and charges with the spear for a close 2 count. More back and forth. Flair goes to the figure 4, but Rhea Ripley rolls her up for a 2. Flair goes for it again and this time gets the figure 4 locked in. They trade shots while on the mat. Flair bridged into the figure 8, but Rhea Ripley hangs on. Ripley finally taps out for the finish. The winner and the new NXT Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. After the match, Flair sits up and takes her title as her music hits. We go to replay. Flair poses with the title as her music hits. Rhea Ripley looks on from the mat. Back from the break, and we get look back at night 1 of WrestleMania 36. Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. We go back to the ring, and out first comes Aleister Black wearing new honor entrance attire. Bobby Lashley is out next with Lana. Black and Lashley locked up to start the match. They break and go to lock up again. Lashley shoves Black away. They go to lock up again. They tangle and Lashley slams Black on the mat. Lashley goes for a bear hug, but Black fights him off. They end up on the floor. Black misses a moonsault to the floor. Lashley with a overhead belly to belly on the floor. Lana claps for her husband. Lashley beats Black around the ringside area into the burial. Lashley brings it back into the ring and keeps Black grounded. Black fights up, but Lashley rams him into the corner. Lashley with a third. Lashley takes it to the opposite corner and continues beating on Black. Lashley charges into the corner and then hits a swinging neck breaker. Black fights out of the suplex, but Lashley lifts him for it again. Black gets to the apron and rocks Lashley. Black goes to the top, but rolls through on a knee. Lashley catches Black with a power slam for a 2 count. Lashley uses the middle rope as the referee warns him. Lana looks for a cheap shot, but doesn't get it. Lashley with a suplex for a 2 count. Lana yells at the referee from the floor. Lana yells at Lashley to finish Black. He goes for the spear, but Black cuts him off with a big knee for a 2 count. Black unloads it with strikes now. Lashley keeps fighting. Black sweeps Lashley and nails a running knee to send Lashley out. Black goes to the top and hits the big moonsault to the floor. Black brings Lashley back into the ring, but Lashley nails a running crossbody and clothesline for a 2 count. Lashley scoops Black on his shoulders, but Lana gets on the apron and screams at Lashley to hit the spear instead. Lashley puts Black down and goes for the spear, but Black meets him with the black mask for the pin to win. The winner of the match, Aleister Black. After the match, Black stands tall as his music hits. Lashley is frustrated as he and Lana stare at each other. We go to replay. Black makes his exit, stopping on the stage to turn back and look at the ring. Kyla Braxton is backstage with the SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley and Sasha Banks. Bayley says tonight's title defense is unfair. Kyla keeps asking about the match and how she has to face her best friend, and Bayley says she's just like everyone on Twitter. Bayley ends the interview and walks off. Kyla stops Sasha and asks her how bad she wants to be SmackDown Women's Champion. Banks says, "I will just have to wait and see." She walks off. We see what happened with the WWE 24/7 Champion title, how Mojo Rawley cheated friend Rob Gronossi to win it from R-Truth night one. Gronk is on the perch with Charlie Caruso now. He says he wouldn't mind winning the WWE 24/7 title before the night is over. That 24/7 champion has to go. I'm tired of it. Otis versus Ziggler. This was a good match. We go back to Michael Cole and 2020 WWE Hall of Famer JBL on commentary. Cole showed us a video package that led to the match. Dolph Ziggler is out first with Sonya Deville. Otis is out next by himself. He rushes to the ring and Ziggler goes out to the floor with Deville. Otis overpowers Ziggler to start. Otis unloads with Ziggler super kicks Otis, knocking him out of the floor. Ziggler goes out at the 5 count, sends Otis into the ring post. Ziggler brings Otis back in the ring for a 2 count. Ziggler keeps control and slams Otis by a chin lock. Ziggler super kicks Otis but can't pull him away. Ziggler with more offense in a neck breaker. Ziggler with more offense before grounding Otis in the middle of the ring with a scissors. DeVille cheers Ziggler on from the floor. Otis fights up and out of a hole. Ziggler kicks Otis and catches him and launches him into the second turnbuckle. Otis with more offense. Otis dances around and rocks Ziggler with more strikes. Otis dances on the ropes but turns around to a right hand. Otis levels Ziggler with a pair of clotheslines. Otis scoops Ziggler and slams him in the middle of the ring. Otis stands on Ziggler's back to keep him from crawling out. Otis whips Ziggler hard into the corner and goes down. Otis with another big whip into the corner and a third as Otis continues to dominate. They go to the floor and Otis launches Ziggler into the burial. Otis sends Ziggler into the ring post now. Otis brings it back in and hits a version of the compactor. More back and forth. DeVille ends up getting involved. The finish sees Roll come out and slaps DeVille. DeVille is getting in the ring. Rose hits a low blow to Ziggler. Otis hits the caterpillar for the pin to win. The winner of the match, Otis. I like the outcome of this match. I really love the outcome. This match was good too. After the match, Otis celebrates with Mandy Rose, finally getting the kiss from her. I love this. I love this. We get a video package for the next match. Last man standing match, Edge versus Randy Orton. This was the match of the night. I know DJ Storms, Coltrane, and team is going to agree with me down below in the comment section. This was the match of the night. We go to the ring, and out first comes WWE Hall of Famer Edge. Tom Phillips and Bryan are back on commentary. Randy Orton is out next. Orton's music hits, but he appears out of nowhere wearing all black and hits the RKO out of nowhere to drop Edge. A replay shows Orton is discussed as a cameraman at ringside. Orton is in his gear now. The referee tells Edge if he can get to his feet, and they will start the match. Edge finally gets up and the bell rings. Edge swings, but Orton dodges it and drops him with another RKO as the referee counts. Orton taunts Edge while he's down. Edge gets up at 9 and stumbles out to the floor. Orton grabs a camera and decks Edge with it, sending him over the burial. Orton beats Edge through the WWE Performance Center now into the gym area. Edge keeps getting up, but finally drops Orton with boot and hanging from a piece of equipment. The referee counts them both down. They get up and trade shots. Edge drops Orton. They brawl continues through the gym of the Performance Center. Edge drops Orton and taunts him while he slowly gets back to his feet. Orton counters and sends Edge into the wall. Edge dodges a shot and gets back up to fight. Edge slams Orton face first and equipment box. Orton is selling an elbow injury. They fall into another production area as Orton yells at the cameraman to move. Orton fights back in the narrow hallway. Edge blocks a shot into a garage door, then slams Orton face first into it. The referee counts again. Orton gets up, but Edge slams him back into the door again. Orton goes back into the main ring area again. They trade shots on the platform where it leads to the lead board with WrestleMania graphics are standing. Orton tosses Edge from the platform onto the burial at ringside. The referee counts again while Orton recovers. Edge is back up at the 9 count. Edge dares Orton to bring it. Orton allows and punches and kicks shots into the burial. Edge stumbles around and falls back down. They fall back into another hallway towards the area with main office. Orton slams Edge into the plexiglass through window, and he goes back down. Edge gets back up, and Orton sends him into the wall. They are in the same large office that Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano brought in weeks ago, with the longer steel desk. Edge sends Orton into it, and they into the wall. Orton goes back down, but gets up for more punishment. Edge tosses Orton on top of the long conference table. Edge swinging himself from the ceiling, which is already close to due to the height of the table, using it and drop a big elbow drop to Orton on the top of the table. Edge beats Orton while they're both standing on the floor again now. They fight back into the hallway. A cameraman goes down. They fall out into another area, a storage facility. Another cameraman runs over. There are ladders standing where they brawl now. Edge knocks Orton into a few ladders and slams him face first into one. Orton stumbles away from Edge. They're clutching his arm. Edge follows, but Orton kicks him and clubs him again. Orton slams Edge into a storage chart. Orton continues beating Edge around a bunch of production cases and storage carts. Edge tries to use a steel chair, but Orton throws them away. Orton sends Edge face first into a piece of steel. The referee counts as Orton looks around for items to use. Edge makes it up just in time before the 10 count. Orton goes back to work. Edge turns it around again and beats Orton through the arena and back. Edge finally puts Orton through the table after driven from several feet up. The elbow hits and they both are down now. Orton slowly gets up first, but Edge is almost there as well. Both men gets up at the 8 count. Edge strikes first. Orton takes control into another area. Edge barely makes it back up. Orton beats Edge against the truck now, then rolls him into the covered bed of the truck. Orton puts Edge on the very top of the truck cab and nails the draping DDT onto the cover bed. The referee counts, but Edge makes it up. Edge climbs up on top of a stack of production cases next to the truck. Orton is still down on the cover bed of truck, trying to recover. Edge is on the top of the NXT box truck now, higher than the stack of production case. Orton is climbing after him. Orton, Edge, and then referee are all on top of the box truck now. Orton charges for a punt kick on the top of the truck, but Edge leaps at him with a spear. Orton is in pain as the referee counts. Orton gets up at 9. Edge goes for another spear, but Orton connects with the RKO. Edge makes it up at the 9 count, but collapses as soon as he does. Orton is back on the floor now. Orton is bringing 2 steel chairs to the top of the truck, now where Edge and the referee still are. Orton comes back up and nails a steel chair shot over Edge back. Orton gets down and Edge face and talks some trash. Orton is ready to send Edge back to his family. Orton places a chair under Edge's head. Orton goes to slam the chair over Edge's head, but Edge jumps up and applies a submission, the same one he used on MVP recently. Edge brings Orton down on the top of the truck with a chair under Orton's head. Orton looks to be knocked out now. The referee counts and Edge gets back up to his feet. Looks to get just a little emotional as he stands over Orton, who is still barely moving. Edge swings the chair and delivers the cold chair to Edge, standing over Orton as the referee counts. Orton is in bad shape. The referee keeps counting and makes it to 10 to finish the match. The winner of the match is Edge. This match was brutal. This match was the match of the night. My pick was Edge to win this last man standing match. After the match, Edge stands tall as his music hits. He drops to his knees in front of Orton and puts his head against Orton, apparently whispering something to him. We go to replay. Edge continues recovering as his music plays. Back from the break, we see several people chasing the WWE 24/7 champion Mojo Rawley into ringside arena. It looks like the mostly enhancement talent ganging up on Mojo. We see Rob Gronkowski up on a perch inside the Performance Center. He leaps off and takes everyone down, then covers Mojo to become the new WWE 24/7 champion. Raw Tag Team titles Austin Theory and Angel Garza versus the Street Profits. Back from the break, and out comes NXT superstar Austin Theory and Angel Garza with Selena Vega. Theory is replacing the injured WWE United States Champion Andrade. Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, are out next. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, they stop to dance on top of the announce table before hitting the ring. Dawkins, in Theory, starts off. Dawkins overpowered to take control early on. Ford is hyped up on the apron. Ford tags in for the double team, nailing a drop kick. Angel runs in but gets double teamed. The Profits unloads on both opponents, sending them out to the floor. Dawkins goes back to work on Theory in the right now. Theory sends Dawkins out. Garza with a cheap shot, super kick as Theory had the referee distracted. Garza and Theory mock their opponents now as Vega cheers them on. Theory works over Dawkins now. Garza tags in for some double teaming and knees in the corner. Garza snatches his pants off, tosses them at Dawkins and rocks him for a 2 count. Theory comes back in and drops Dawkins for a 2 count. More back and forth between both teams for the next few minutes in and out of the ring. Garza with a close 2 count to 4 after a moonsault from the second rope. Vega is furiously about to count. Ford blocks a wing clipper and drops Garza. Dawkins tags in, but they double team him. Theory slams Dawkins for 4 fouls up top and takes Theory down with a big fall splash. Dawkins takes advantage and covers for the pin to retain. The winner of the match is still your Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits. After the fairly quick match, the Profits stand tall with their arms raised as the music hits and we go to replay. Garza and Theory attack the champions after the ring, beating them down. Dawkins is sent out while they double team Ford in the middle of the ring. They hold for while Vega delivers a big kick to the face. Vega with another kick to Theory. NXT Bianca Belair hits the ring and defends her husband. She unloads on Vega while the champs take Theory and Garza out to the floor. Belair works Vega over and drops her in the middle of the ring with the cod. Belair stands tall in the middle of the ring and swinging her hair as her music hits. Ford and Dawkins return to the ring and grabs their titles to celebrate with Bianca Belair. We go to replay of Belair and Vega. The champs celebrate as with Bianca Belair on the shoulders now. Titus O'Neil appears on the perch and says he's the new WrestleMania 36 host now that Grunk is unable to host. Fatal 5-way elimination match for the SmackDown Women's title. Sasha Banks versus Naomi versus Lacey Evans versus Tamina Snuka versus Bayley. This Fatal 5-way match was god-awful. God-awful match. But I really want Sasha Banks to win the SmackDown Women's title. That was my pick. But I was wrong. It is with Bayley won the SmackDown, retaining the SmackDown Women's title. But anyway, this Fatal 5-way match was god-awful. Back from the break and we go to the ring. Out first comes Sasha Banks, followed by Lacey Evans. Tamina Snuka is out next, followed by Naomi and SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley is out last. The bell rings and everyone sides up each other. Bayley and Sasha strikes Tamina first, but gets knocked off. Naomi and Evans do the same, but Tamina knocks them away as well. All 4 attack Tamina now, but she powers her way out. Tamina with the right hand for other competitors now. Tamina drops Evans with the elbow to the nose. Naomi grabs Tamina's leg, but Tamina drags her into the ring. Evans takes Tamina's knee down. Bayley and Sasha with double kicks to Tamina. Tamina gets kicked out of the ring now. Sasha screams to be helping Bayley early on. Naomi and Evans team up against Banks and Bayley are now getting the upper hand. They hit the double team drop kick for the pins at the same time. They both avoid the elimination and end up on the floor. Evans and Naomi go at it in the ring now. Tamina comes in and drops them. Tamina levels Bayley and Banks with the ring now. Tamina launches Evans across the ring. Tamina launches Naomi into the corner. Naomi with a running splash to Evans and Naomi at the same time, but she can't get the win. Tamina with the more offense in the pin attempts. Evans then Bayley. Tamina scoops Bailey, but Sasha saves her. Banks and Tamina with kicks to Evans. Naomi, Banks, and Tamina stare each other down. Tamina offers her fist for some team to work in a team bad reunion. They join her, but she super kicks Sasha Banks. Naomi and Tamina attacking now. Naomi counters with a stunner for a 2 count. As Evans comes back in, Evans with a standing moonsault. Tamina. Naomi tries to pin, but Tamina overpowers them both. Sasha with the 619 to Tamina. Bailey with a big flying elbow to Tamina. Banks with a fall splash to Tamina. Right after, Evans with a moonsault to Tamina. Naomi with the split-legged moonsault to Tamina. They power on Tamina and eliminate her with a pin. Evans and Naomi baseballs slide Banks and Bailey to the floor. Bailey takes down on the floor and sends her into the ring steps. Bailey drops Naomi on the floor as well. Bailey brings Naomi back in and works her over while talking trash. Banks rolls back in and helps Bailey with Naomi. Naomi ends up fighting them off. Bailey blocks a rear view, but Naomi turns it into a stunner. Banks eats a rear view. Naomi fights off Bailey and Banks again. Naomi with a 2 count on Banks. Naomi ends up tapping out into the Banks segment. Banks and Bailey take turns on Evans now. Banks gets dropped and sent to the floor. Bailey takes control of Evans and rolls her for a 2 count. Banks comes back in and has words with Bailey over what happened when Banks got sent out. Evans walked Banks with a woman's right to take advantage. Evans pins Banks and Banks is eliminated. Bailey and Evans goes at it now. Bailey has some small cuts on her nose. Bailey manhandles Evans and drops an elbow. Evans fights back, but Bailey keeps control. Evans with clotheslines out of the corner. Evans with a kick and a neck breaker. Bailey tries to tie Evans' arm to the top with the tag rope. Bailey unloads in the corner and talks some trash. Evans fights free and beats Bailey down. Evans drops Bailey and goes to the top for the moonsault. She nails it, but Bailey kicks out. Evans can't believe the kick out. Evans goes on, but Banks rolls back in the ring to drop Evans in a backstabber. Bailey takes advantage and gets the pin to retain. The winner of the match and retain the SmackDown Women's title, Bailey. After the match, Banks brings the title in the ring as Bailey recovers while her music hits. Banks raises Bailey's arm in the middle of the ring. We go to replay. Bailey talks trash to the announcers and poses in the corner as Banks makes her exit and watches from the floor. We get a video package for the next match. The Firefly Funhouse match. John Cena versus The Fiend Bray Wyatt. This match was fantastic. I had to give WWE credit where credit's due for this match. This match was fantastic. We go back to the ring and out first comes John Cena. Cena's entrance is quickly interrupted by the Firefly Funhouse field. Bray Wyatt appears at the Firefly Funhouse. He talks about how another realm exists filled with monsters and others. Wyatt addressed Cena, says he's about to face the most dangerous opponent yet, himself. Wyatt welcomes us to the Firefly Funhouse. Cena is now in the Firefly Funhouse. He spots Abby the Witch and the Rambling Rabbit pops up. Rabbit says Wyatt went that way through the door. He tells Cena to be careful. Cena opens the door and enters. Cena is somewhere dark now. The evil devil boss puppet appears looking like Vince McMahon. He tells Cena to prove that he has this, and that's all his theme. Wyatt is in the ring now. We see flashes from Cena's debut with the WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle years ago. Wyatt repeats the promo Angle cut night. Cena comes out wearing his prototype gear, coming out from behind in large SmackDown fists. Cena enters the ring and Wyatt asks what makes him think he can hang with Wyatt. Cena says ruthless aggression. He keeps swinging and keeps missing as Wyatt taunts him. Cena chases Wyatt out of the ring. Evil Boss Mercy the Buzzer on commentary. We see a Saturday night main event intro now. We see the fitness gym bro version of Wyatt now. He cuts an old school WWE promo including his tag team partner, who is Cena, lifting weights like it's nothing. Wyatt calls him Jimmy large meat or something like that. Cena raged with the dumbbells like they read paper. Abby is impressed, as is Wyatt. Cena can lift his arms now. Now Wyatt channels his inner Hulk Hogan, and Cena is back in front of the SmackDown fist. Now his World Life theme starts up now. Cena is wearing the Doctor of Thugonomics gear he brought back at WrestleMania last year. Wyatt is in the ring. Cena hits the ring. He can speak his rhymes. He warns Wyatt to run. Wyatt gets emotional and talks about how he had to earn everything had taken it from him. But Cena's chances are unlimited. Wyatt says Cena is not a hero. He's a bully and horrible person who takes the weakness of the others and turns them into jokes. He says Cena will do anything to frame. Congratulations, Cena, you are the man now. Poor lonely John Cena. Wyatt says this is Cena's last chance. To floor is his. Cena rounds some more and charges into the corner, but Wyatt moves. Cena turns back around looking for Wyatt, and Wyatt drops him with the right hand. We see the very first version of Bray Wyatt now, sitting at his home in somewhere like the Florida swamp. We see flashes from their WrestleMania match 6 years ago, and Wyatt goes on with his promo. He tells Cena to run. They jump back into the ring. An old version of Wyatt attacks Cena. Wyatt kisses Cena on the head and goes for the Sister Abigail. Cena slides out. Wyatt says that's not enough to end it, but this is. Cena grabs a chair from Wyatt. Wyatt goes to his knees and puts his hands up. Wyatt says Cena made the wrong choice 6 years ago, so fix it now. Cena swings the chair and Wyatt is gone. We see WCW Monday Nitro graphics splash now. Wyatt is in the ring wearing the Wolfpack NWO t-shirt. He channels Eric Bischoff, who is shown several times in the Flash, and Wyatt, as Eric Bischoff introduced Cena, who is supposed to be Hulkster. Cena comes out to the Hollywood music wearing a black and white NWO shirt. Cena ends up beating Wyatt down. We see more flashes of Cena's career. He keeps swinging, but now C is no longer. Wyatt hitting the Husky, the pig. The Fiend appears behind Cena. He turns around. The Fiend ends up dropping him with Sister Abigail. The Fiend applies the mandible claw and holds him down. We hear laughing as Wyatt appears to count a pin. The Fiend stands tall and holds his arm out. The winner of the match, The Fiend. After the match, we cut back to the new host. Titus O'Neil is shocked and says he has no idea what just saw. That's the end of whatever that was. Back from the break, we get a video package for tonight's main event. WWE title match, Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar. This match was fantastic. This match was fantastic. I called it down the middle. Drew McIntyre was my pick to win the new WWE title. That was my pick. We go to the ring for tonight's main event, and out comes the challenger first, Drew McIntyre. Out next comes WWE Champion Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman. We get the formal reintroductions for Rome. I really want Drew McIntyre's old theme song, Broken Dreams. I really want it, but it didn't happen. The bell rings and Lesnar nails a kick to start. Lesnar rams Drew back into the corner and unloads. Drew nails a big Claymore kick out of nowhere for a 2 count. Drew backs up and waits for Lesnar to recover. Lesnar dodges the Claymore kick and hits a big German suplex. Lesnar goes for another German, but Drew fights him. Lesnar gets the German. Lesnar with another big German suplex. Lesnar goes on and Drew managed to kick out at 1 somehow. Lesnar is frustrated now. Lesnar scoops Drew and drops him with the F5 in the middle of the ring. Drew still kicks out at 2. Lesnar can't believe it. Lesnar delivers another big F5, but Drew kicks out. Heyman screams that Drew can keep kicking out. Lesnar is heated. Lesnar goes for another F5, but Drew nails the second Claymore kick with Drew with a third Claymore kick, and he yells at Lesnar some more. Drew with a fourth Claymore kick for the pin to win the title. The winner of the match and new WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre. I am so proud that WWE did the right thing by letting Drew McIntyre win the WWE Championship. But it was all the way around. If WWE did not do the right thing, they would have screwed Drew McIntyre over. And I know the Coltrane's, Desmond, TM, and DJ Storms are going to agree with me down below in the comment section. But anyway, I was so happy that Drew McIntyre became the new WWE Champion. And Drew McIntyre is the future of the WWE. I don't care what nobody say. After the match, Drew stands tall as his music hits. He raised the WWE title in the air as we go to replays. Drew hits his knees with the title after looking down at Lesnar, who is still on his back. Drew McIntyre hits the corner and poses with the title and continues celebrating. Night of 2 of WrestleMania 36 goes up there and looks for the new WWE Champion. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like on this video, comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. And I'm out of here.